Welcome to episode 3 of the Internet Book Promotion Podcast. This is Bob Baker, and on this one, I'm going to discuss the 7 attributes of highly successful authors. I got your curiosity up? This is one you definitely want to listen to. Stay tuned. So let me ask you, are you a curious person? Well, I am, especially when it comes to people who have taken action to achieve worthy and creative goals. Whenever I meet a successful author or musician, artist, actor, or whatever, I try to find a way to pick his or her brain and discover what the person did to breathe life into their aspirations. I also pay attention to the qualities and traits that the most successful people seem to have in common. Now, through my role as the president of the St. Louis Publishers Association and other networking opportunities I've had over the years, I have been blessed to know dozens of successful authors. And I believe that taking what I've learned from them and then combining their strategies with my own views and methods has greatly helped me to become a full-time, self-empowered author. So with that in mind, here's a list of what I consider to be the 7 attributes demonstrated by the most successful authors. Here we go. Number 1, they're on a mission, or at least feel they have something to say. Now, many prominent authors write because they have to. What drives them goes far beyond money and recognition. They write and share their words because they have a story that needs to be told, a point of view that needs to be communicated, a message they feel the world needs to hear. To be successful, you must become an evangelist for your topic. It's one thing I've said many times over the years is that writing and having the desire to publish a book is often a very personal journey. There's usually something quite deep and meaningful that inspires people to publish their own book. And the way that you share that can be meaningful to your readers too. So it's really important to tap into that mission. What do you have to say? Number 2, their vision is stronger than the rules and the obstacles they encounter. I don't have to tell you that there are a ton of hurdles that aspiring authors run into, especially when you're new to the field. And many of them are tangible, such as editing, pre-press, distribution matters. Now, I've been at this a few years, so I'm fairly well versed in a lot of those technical topics, but I can understand how when someone is new to this whole book publishing thing, that can seem overwhelming. And then there are other mental barriers, like fear of rejection and financial struggle and thinking that there's, it's crazy high cost to be able to even get into the field, which is not true. Now, what sets apart successful authors is their almost naive, childlike ability to not buy into common myths and let their greater vision guide them around any obstacles they encounter. This is crucial. Another thing I recommend is that you always question everything you've ever been told about book publishing or how to get a book out, how to publish it, how to print it. There are a lot of sort of myths and stigmas out there that are not necessarily true. So let your vision be bigger than the rules that people tell you about or the obstacles that you encounter along the way. Number 3, the most successful authors understand the self of self-promotion. No matter what level of success you attain, you will always be intimately involved in the promotion of your book, so get used to this. Struggling writers wish they could hand off the marketing work to someone else so they can concentrate only on the writing. I've heard that a lot. Maybe you thought that yourself. And sure, you can hire a publicist or a virtual assistant or someone to help with some things, but no one will ever promote you as passionately as you can. So to succeed, you must get on friendlier terms with promotion and marketing and look at it as a way of sharing your message with a wider group of people and being personally involved in that. And these days with the internet and social media, being accessible to your fans and having a direct relationship with them is crucial. So please don't try to push that off or disdain it or make it something that it isn't. Number 4, they make the best use of available tools. There are all sorts of ways to create, market, and sell books these days. There's still traditional methods like sheet-fed printers and distributors, bookstores, trade magazine reviews, bulk sales to associations, etc., etc. Some of these things are fading away. Some of them will probably be around for a while. And then there are a lot of newer options at your disposal. Print on demand and using the internet and email. And there's Amazon's Advantage program. There's the blogs and podcasts and a ton of ebook readers that are coming on board and places to sell ebook digital versions of your books. This is going to be a huge thing in the future. So you have to embrace these new tools, these new technologies, and these new trends. You don't have to use every option. It'd probably be better for your sanity if you not try to do it all, because you'll never be able to do it all. You'll never be able to know it all. But you at least should be aware of, be open to what's available, and choose the best new tools and old tools for your book and your personality, and then use them to your advantage. Number 5, they put a focus on readers and fans. Let me ask you something. What's the number one factor that determines an author's material success? Is it the size of his publishing company or the reputation of his agent? No. It's not that, and it also is not the amount of her advance or the raving reviews she gets in the press. Here's a little secret. The only thing that matters is the number of people who purchase and read the book and then rave about it to their friends. The most successful authors understand this, and they always put a priority on attracting and retaining readers and then turning those readers into fans. It's a little bit different approach than the traditional one. A lot of authors obsess about impressing agents and publishing companies and library people and bookstores and distributors, all these middlemen that stand really in the way between the author and the ultimate end user. And years ago when I started my publishing efforts, I saw how this seemed to be kind of a broken system. I wanted to take out the middleman and take my message directly to the end user. In my case, it was the musicians who read my music marketing books, but it's the same approach that I think you should take too. Number 6, they think of themselves as a personal brand with a clear identity. People may at first be attracted to the title and the subject matter of your book, especially when you're a newer author. But if they really enjoy what you've written, they will start to associate your name with the benefit you deliver through your books. Then instead of looking for another book on your topic, your fans will seek out other books by you. What a concept. Most of the top authors are known for a specific subject or genre, or maybe even a series of related books. And once established, they crank out a series of similar titles. You should consider doing the same thing. And I know a lot of creative people are resistant to this because they like variety and, I have an idea for this book and I can do really well with that. And some, there are exceptions to this rule of focusing on a specific topic. But by and large, if you can focus and be known for some specific thing to a specific group of people, and something that you're hopefully passionate about and will want to write and speak and talk about for years to come, that is the best approach to being a successful author. And finally, number 7, they understand that being a solo author doesn't mean working alone. Now, an author's life can be a solitary one, particularly when immersed in writing a new book. But successful authors realize that writing alone doesn't mean they have to be lonely or feel like it's them against the cold, cruel world. Even solo, self-published authors can and should share ideas with other writers and assemble a team that might include editors and graphic artists and web designers, print brokers, and more. And you don't need a publisher to assemble that team. You can hire them or find them on your own. So this is balanced out with the number 3 earlier when I talked about the self of self-promotion. It starts with you, with your desires, with your ability to get out and market, engage with people. But you do need to partner up with other people along the way, mainly your fans, and other people that can help you, like editors and designers, and people that can help you with online things. As long as you don't give too much of it away, and you still retain those personal communications with your readers. So that's my list of the 7 attributes of highly successful authors. How does it compare to yours? This is Bob Baker saying thanks for listening to this episode of the Internet Book Promotion Podcast. For more information on this topic, please visit my website, fulltimeauthor.com, where you can find a blog, a podcast, a bunch of free resources, as well as titles that you can purchase, such as my book, 55 Ways to Promote and Sell Your Book on the Internet. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.